going to a pad work session. Been to pad work last week as well before the sparring. I mean, now the goal is obviously to be more reactive in terms of when I'm doing shadow boxing. I need to also think in my head that other person is hitting me too. So defense, attack, attack, defense. Apart from that, when I'm doing pad work, I'm thinking instead of just doing close by, I'm thinking I'll be doing it more with a distance, like I can reach, because people are very close to each other. So when you're doing hooks and stuff, that also helps. But I feel like longer punches, full range of motion with the punches is a lot better. So that's what I'm gonna be focusing on as well. Apart from that, yeah, these are the only things right now. What else? Footwork. I tend to do that, especially during the warm up in the shadow boxing, trying to imagine that the person is right in front of me. Before, I used to look into the mirror and just stand there and just look at my form, but now I'm actually seeing here rather than there. So I'm seeing the person, the shadow of the person that I'm fighting with, which is something most people don't understand until they are in a real fight. You have to imagine that person. When I started doing boxing, I wasn't imagining that person. I was just looking at myself in the mirror, trying to check the form. Is it looking all right? But the technique will come over time based on how much training I do. It is an experience. The more experience you build, the better you're going to become at technique. But the main thing is visualizing the person you're fighting with. And obviously when you're doing pad work, when you're hitting, you're just like, okay, I hit, move, and you kind of having a gist of, okay, I'm not just standing here doing the punches, I'm punching, I'm moving, I'm punching, I'm moving, I'm punching, I'm moving. And that is again the same thing as working on my footwork. That is something I'm going to be focusing on in this session. But yeah, apart from that, nothing major, to be honest. I just had 20 minutes to spare before the session, so I was like, let me just record this video, how I'm feeling, what I'm going to be focusing on today. And yeah, overall boxing is going good. If you want an update, it's going well. I been to the sparring session, and in that sparring session I got destroyed basically by a guy who was 95 kilos. So that humbled me, and that is why I'm getting even more into it, in terms of, okay, I'm gonna go back to that session after a couple of months when I'm better trained, I have more experience. Then I won't be destroyed as much as I did previously. So that is what boxing is. It's physical contact, physical fight. So you learn a lot of things doing boxing. I mean, I started with weightlifting, but at a certain point it just started to get boring. There was no excitement. It was just like, okay, I can keep pushing the weight, I can keep increasing the weight. Where is this exactly gonna end? I'm gonna have protein, I'm gonna have perfect diet, perfect training, but where is it gonna end? I'm not thinking of competing, because to compete I'll have to take steroids, and I don't want to take steroids. That's the first thing. With boxing is more of practical skills. You know, you are able to defend yourself if something happens. You know, you'll be able to fight if you really have to. Last case scenario, you have to. And most of the times that's what boxing teaches you. It's not about, okay, going to the person and getting involved in the fight. Most of the times people that you see that are trained, they don't get involved in a fight. That's what they teach you here, because everybody has their own level of experience in fighting, and eventually you will start seeing the punches coming. But again, that is a lot of practice. You can't just be in the boxing for about 3-4 months, a year, and be like, okay, I want to go into the street fight, because street fight is different. That doesn't help, but it helps you that you are confident. Okay, I have little bit of chance of surviving compared to somebody who is completely untrained. You know what I mean? And it also gives you self-confidence in yourself. Your depth increases. You feel a lot better in your own self, and that is why I'm doing what I'm doing, because boxing has taught me a lot of lessons. For example, consistency. I was doing the same thing in bodybuilding, but here as well, it's the consistency that brings you results. Anytime you want to get results. All you need to do is be consistent with whatever you are doing for a certain period of time, and once you are comfortable with it, with consistency, it becomes a habit, and once it's a habit, you become the person you want it to be. So for example, if you want to be fit, then what you need to do is to act like a fit person. What does a fit person do? Eat healthy, goes to the gym, has a active lifestyle. So by the time you get to where you want to be, you're gonna become that person basically. So that is why I look for inspiration in people. For example, right now I'm reading a book from 50 Cent and Robert Greene. It's another level book. It is very practical. It reminds me of how you're supposed to be living rather than what has been influenced onto you. I was mentioning this thing just last night, that there are two types of animals: ones that are domesticated, other ones that are wild. Most of the people here, the ones that live in the neighborhood and in London, are being domesticated because influence from a lot of social media, influence from government, influence basically stripped away their own genuineness. And on the other hand, there is a wild animal. You can treat that as, if you want to take it personally, you can say, I have street knowledge. I can act on a certain situation if a situation comes. I am ready for this. I'm ready for that. You have confidence in yourself. So that's the difference between domestic and wild. That is pretty much it for today. I mean, I still have so much time. I don't know what to talk about, to be honest. I'm just recording this video just to improve my way of talking, and the way of talking, the way to improve it, the best way is practice, consistency. Do something again and again until it becomes a second nature, and you're gonna be there. So that is what I'm doing right now. I completely believe in this idea of consistency. The more you are consistent with something, the better you're gonna get with it. So this point about consistency I'm mentioning because that is how I operate. I'm even creating a brand on that called Action is Proof. And the message from the brand is, it's not the matter of what if, it's the matter of when. By that I mean, if you are consistent with something, you are disciplined with it, whatever it is, whatever skill that you are working on, you do it every single day, you show up every single day, even on the days you don't feel like doing it, you still do it, you're gonna grow immensely. And by immensely, I mean first few weeks is not gonna be a lot of progress, because that's the foundation. After that, you're gonna start seeing the progress unfold. You're gonna have compound effect, so your growth won't be linear. It will be up down, up down, up down, like in a higher point of view. I mean, you've seen Bitcoin, the charts and stuff. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, that's pretty much it. Now, boxing pad work session is gonna be about, what time is it? 25, 40, 15 minutes left. It's pretty much it, man. So that's the video I wanted to record. It's been 8 minutes, man. I didn't even know I could talk for 8 minutes, but yeah, here we go. Take care. See you in the next one.